Good morning, grade 9. Today we are going to start lesson 2, animal body plans. Yes, we finished before the lesson of animal. We mentioned animal multicellular, animal heterotrophic, yes, depend on other living organisms for getting food, obtain energy and oxygen, yes, reproduce and keep internal conditions, the homeostasis, and adapt itself in a main environment according to the structure of body. Yes, today we are going to start the organizations of animals' cells. Yes, because we mentioned the animal multicellular. So the animal organize the cells in a tissue, and then the tissues organized as organs, and the organs organized as organ systems, and the group of organ systems make the whole body of animal. So the organizations of animal cells into higher levels of structure, including tissues, then organs, and the organ systems help us to describe an animal's body plan. Okay? Number 1. Animal cells are usually specialized and organized as tissue. Look at bone. The bone is organ, yes? If you make a cross-section in the bone, look at the cell or bone cell inside the bone. Look at group of these cells make the tissue of the bone. Okay? So, a tissue is a group of similar cells. It's very important to mention similar cells. Okay, don't forget. A group of similar cells that perform specific functions. Because we have a lot of tissues, a lot of different tissue. Okay, the whole body made of organs or organ systems. Okay, and the organ made of tissue. So we have different tissues because I have different organs. I have liver, I have heart, I have lung, I have skin, I have bone organ. So the bone is hard. So sure, the tissues of bone is not like the tissue of lung. Yes, the lung is a sponge, soft. It's not like the tissue of heart. Also, the heart is a muscle. Also completely different than the muscles that form your arm or your leg. So we have different tissues. And the tissue itself of each organ, of that form each organ, group of similar cells. Yes, that perform a specific function. Don't forget word similar. Okay, look, animal muscle tissue. Yes, and also we have inside muscle tissue, we have nervous tissue. And also we have connective tissue. All this in one organ. Muscle tissue with nervous tissue and the connective tissue. So we have different tissues. Yes, muscle tissue, nervous tissue, connective tissue. Okay? Blood. The blood itself that move in all body organs and support all body organs with food and oxygen. The blood itself, tissue. Yes, group of tissues. The blood, group of connective tissues. So the type of tissue that form a blood is connective tissue. So the blood is a tissue. The blood, not organ. Blood is a group of tissues. Because the blood group of cells, the tissue is a group of cells, yes? So the blood is a tissue because we have red blood cells in blood, we have white blood cells, we have platelets, all these cells. So the cells, group of cells form a tissue. So the blood is a tissue. The type of tissue, connective tissue. Connective tissues, yes? So bone and the blood are connective tissue. Look at the cross-section in the bone. Look at the structure of the tissue. This is group of tissues form the bone organ, okay, inside it. Look at the nerves, yes, that carry blood to the tissues, yes. So we mentioned tissue, group of similar cells. We move to organ, group of tissues, yes, organ group of different tissues, because I told you the organ made of different tissue. We have connective tissue. For blood, we have nervous tissue, make the organ feel everything, okay? And the muscle tissue also, some organ with muscle tissue. So the organ made of different tissues. So in this sentence, don't forget the word different tissue. We mentioned in tissue, group of similar cells, but organ, different tissues, because we have connective tissue, nervous tissue, and the muscle tissue. An organ perform more complex function than tissue. الأورجان ليه؟ أصل عنده different tissue يا ميس، فطبيعي normal connective tissues has its own function, muscle tissues has its own function, nervous tissue has its own function. So the organ can perform complex functions than tissues. Yes? The leg bone of frog is composed of bone tissue. So we have bone tissue also. Yes, so we have bone tissue, muscle tissue, nervous tissue, connective tissue. Yes, leg bone of a frog is composed of bone tissue, nervous tissue, sure, and also blood. And the blood itself is connective tissue. Okay? This is in one organ only. We have more than 2 or 3 tissues. What about organ systems? Group of organs. So, tissue, group of cells. Organ, group of tissues, and organ systems, group of organ, and group of organ systems make the whole body. We have digestive system, we have circulatory system, we have respiratory system, we have a skeletal system like the skeletal system of the frog. Yes, we have nervous system, and so on. A lot of systems form the whole body. So an organ system, group of organs, because each system has its own organ, like digestive system. Can you tell me the organs that form a digestive system? Yes, miss. Digestive system start by my mouth, then go to the pharynx, and go to the larynx, then esophagus, then stomach, then small intestine, large intestines. All these organs that form one system only called the digestive system. Other system like respiratory system. Respiratory system start by my nose. Nose, pharynx, larynx, and the trachea. And then the 2 lungs, left and right lungs, with the bronchus. Yes, bronchus and the 2 bronchi that enter the lungs. These organs form one system only called the respiratory system. What about circulatory system? Circulatory, that responsible about circulation of blood that carries food and the oxygen to all body parts. Circulatory system, the main organ in it, heart. Yes, the heart is a muscle that pump blood to all body parts. Yes, so this only system. So a lot of systems, respiratory, with digestive, with circulatory, with skeletal, with nervous system, the brain inside your skull also make nervous system. All these systems work together and perform the different functions for your body. Yes? Okay, so look at organ system, this organ system. This is one system called the skeletal system, made of a skull, made of bones of my arms and my legs, and made of ribs. Look at the ribs that form the chest of the frog, and look at the vertebral column with a different vertebra. Yes, all these one system called skeletal system, made of group of organs. Where are the organs, miss? This is all one organ. La, not one organ, because the head itself is organ. The upper arms, this is organ. The lower Limbs, this is organ. Yes? The vertebral column with bones or ribs, this is organ. The hip, look at the hip, this part, this is organ. So group of organs form one organ system. Okay? We move to main parts in the animal body called symmetry. The symmetry, it's very important to mention the symmetry that organize the body structure of the animal. Okay? Also, when I speak about animal, don't forget I speak about human being, me and you. Yes? How is symmetry related to body structure? Symmetry, balanced display of body parts. Balanced display of body parts. What's meant by this? This is mean the pattern on the left side, mirror image of pattern of the right side. Sure, miss, my body is in asymmetry, miss, because my left side exactly the same as my right side. Yes, the pattern on the left side organized as a mirror image to the pattern of the left side. I have right hand, I have left hand. I have right eye and I have left eye. I have right ear and I have left ear, and so on. I have right limb and I have left limb. So if you draw a vertical line pass from the head to lower limbs, it divides your body into two identical parts. Yes, two identical parts, or symmetry. In this case, I can say I have symmetry in my body. Yes, balanced display of body part. Animals have different type of symmetry. This is means some animals with no symmetry. Yes, this means some animals with no symmetry, because we mentioned we have two phyla. Remember with me, yesterday spoke about the two phyla of animals, vertebrates and invertebrates. All vertebrates with symmetry, yes, have balanced display of body parts, but invertebrates, some of them with no symmetry. And I can divide symmetry into two main types: radial and bilateral. Radial and bilateral symmetry. Yes? Look at radial. Radial symmetry means the animal with center point or central point divide the body into mirror image, into two mirror image. But look at radial symmetry, like look at this invertebrate. This is cnidarians. This is class cnidarians. We have 8 classes for invertebrates. I told you yesterday, 8 classes: sponges, cnidarians, worms, and we mentioned in worm, flatworm, segmented worm, and roundworm, and also mentioned mollusks, arthropod, echinoderms. Yes, we have 8 group, or 8 class. خلاص, 8 classes form the phylum invertebrates. Look at the body structure of the 8 classes. It's not like each other, different, because we have some invertebrates like cnidarians and the echinoderms. Echinoderms, I mean starfish. We have a lot of the imaginary lines can divide the body. A lot of imaginary lines can divide the body. In this case, I can say this animal with radial symmetry, echinoderms and cnidarians. Look at your book, page 140. Open this page now with me, 140. Look at cnidarians and the echinoderms. Okay, I can divide the body into many parts. Look at it. Look at page 144 also. Look at the starfish. Different lines can divide the body. These lines, imaginary lines, yes, these lines, imaginary line, can be drawn through the center. Look at the center, in page 144, in starfish, the red one. Divide it into two mirror images. Okay? Animals that have a lot of mirror images or a lot of lines have complex body plan with tissues and organs. Sure, this is animal. Sure, have different organs and different tissues, but it's very small. How can this body carries some organs? The body of a starfish or echinoderms carry organs inside the body and also carry tissues. Yes? Remember with me, all radial symmetry animal body, all animal with radial symmetry live in water. So I can see animal with radial symmetry in water only, like echinoderm and cnidarians. Yes? These animals do not have front or back ends. Yes? Because I can draw the line from any part. Yes? From any part. So no front or no back. And also do not have heads. Where is the head of a starfish? No head. Look at page 144. No head. No fronts or back. No arms. No legs. Yes? We have radial symmetry, can arrange the body. Yes? And do not have hands with specialized sense organs. Can you give me example for radial symmetry? Yes, miss. Echinoderms, starfish, and the jellyfish in cnidarians. Look at jellyfish, the body of cnidarians or the body of jellyfish. Look at the round body. No head, no front or back. I can draw imaginary line, divide the body. I can draw it from any direction. I can draw it from this direction. I can draw it from this direction. I can draw it from this direction. So I can draw different lines. I can draw different lines. Yes? Okay. I can draw, look at. I can draw, insert. I can draw with you now. Yes. No, I can't now. I want to draw some lions. I can't. Okay. But look at the lines in the book in page 144. It's easy to draw a lot of lines. Yes, this is radial. Yes, we can draw it from the central axis, like this. From the central point, we can draw a central axis. What about second type of animal symmetry? Bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry, animal that has bilateral symmetry always have head. All animals with bilateral symmetry always have head. Like you, like me, like lion, like fish. Yes? Animal has bilateral symmetry if only one line of symmetry can be drawn. One line only. In bilateral symmetry animal, only one line vertically divides the body from the head to the lower limbs, divide it into two similar or identical halves that are mirror image. Identical halves or similar halves that are mirror image. Animals are larger. All bilateral animals or with bilateral symmetry or animal with bilateral symmetry are larger and more complex than animal with radial symmetry. Sure, miss. The lion, sure, more complex than jellyfish. Okay? Having a head and specialized sense organ. Most animals have bilateral symmetry, as I told you. Yes? Look at the insect. Yes? Look at the lion vertically, drawn vertically, divide the body into two mirror images, right and left. Look at the insect, right wing and left wing, right eye and left eye, and so on. And also two antennae, right and left antenna. Yes, this is bilateral. But what about animal with no with no symmetry. All vertebrates, all phylum vertebrates with bilateral symmetry. Some types of invertebrate classes like arthropods, insect belong to arthropods, like mollusks. These are bilateral also. But what about no symmetry? Animal with no symmetry or asymmetry, sponge. Look at page 144. When you draw line, the right image is the right side, not like left side. Okay, I can't draw line to divide the body into two similar or identical halves. So no symmetry in a sponge. So invertebrates, sponge, class sponge with no symmetry. So no symmetry or asymmetry. Okay, look at page 144. I can solve the three examples. Number one, starfish, radial symmetry, sponge, no symmetry or asymmetry, and the crab that belong to arthropods, this bilateral symmetry. In page 145, we have some pictures in view of you or some photos. Look at the car, bilateral, the chair, bilateral, the wheel of the bike, no, the wheel of the bike, like Nigerians, this is radial. Yes, what about the box of clothes? So this is asymmetry. I can divide it because the items in left side is not like the item of right side. So no symmetry. What about the lamp? Radial also. Yes? Turn page 146. Look at 146. 146 tells me about the comparison between the vertebrate and the invertebrate. Comparison between fish and sea star. If you want to compare, firstly, fish, vertebrates, class vertebrate, class phylum, fish phylum, class vertebrates, or fish, I can say the class fish belong to vertebrate, phylum vertebrate, phylum vertebrate. What about sea star? Sea star, invertebrates. The class of sea star is what? Echinoderm. So the class of sea star, echinoderm. The class of fish is fish also. Yes? The common between fish and sea star, both are animals. Number two, what about the symmetry? Sea star with radial symmetry, but fish with bilateral symmetry. Yes? Okay, I have finished the lesson. So easy. And I have homework about lesson 1 and lesson 2. I uploaded it on LMS. You have to do it. Okay, thank you.